It's your girl, VK Jehanam, and I'm back for the part two. Now that we've talked about the way that the Bible conveys things and the way that the Bible's narrative about Jesus is bullshit, we get to talk about the biblical depiction of Jesus Christ, the great black magician. The black magician's so great that even Christians followed him. Jesus Christ is generally interpreted as having been a pacifist, right? But he kind of wasn't. This brings us to the subject of peaceful protest. I want to remind you of Mahatma Gandhi, the man who peacefully protested against the British. He used hunger strikes regularly instead of violence. But his hunger strikes only worked because the threat of violence was present. You see, if Gandhi starved himself to death, then the British would have been seen as having caused his death, and then his supporters would have set everything on fire. The British didn't want that. You see? The peaceful part of the protest was a strategic move. Now think about the modern movement known as Black Lives Matter, right? The vast majority of BLM protests are peaceful. Vast majority. More than 90%. But conservative media has hyper-focused on violent and destructive protests to demonize BLM, right? They know that violent protest is disadvantageous. So, they hyper-focus on the few violent protests that BLM engages in. The Harvard professor Erica Chenoweth has released a study showing that peaceful protests are far more effective than violent protests. Additionally, there have been multiple occasions where police officers have been caught impersonating Antifa activists and engaging in vandalism to try and inspire protesters to violence and destruction, because they know that getting BLM protesters to engage in violence and destruction is advantageous for them. See? Peaceful protest is key when you're marginalized and engaging in rebellion, because you have to focus on public perception. You don't want to look crazy. You want your opponent to look crazy. Now, have you ever watched skeptic YouTubers talk about Jesus? They say they like him because of the message of unconditional love and pacifism and forgiveness and blah fucking blah. But they don't understand the biblical depiction of Christ at all. If I took one of these skeptic commentators and I just bitch slapped them, they wouldn't turn the other cheek in the hopes that I would slap them again. They'd ask what the fuck I was doing. They'd smack me back. shove me, maybe headbutt me, some shit like that. These skeptic commentators are claiming to understand the biblical Jesus, even though they wouldn't want to do what he supposedly advocated for. Now, here's a fact. In the time period during which Jesus Christ allegedly lived, modern hygiene was not accessible to the common population. It didn't even exist yet. So, they would use one hand, their left hand, to wipe their ass, and the other hand, their right hand, to eat. During this time period, it was common to just bitch slap someone you disagreed with. The bitch slap was that time period's equivalent of the middle finger. Now, say I'm a Roman. If I want to condemn you as an equal, I smack you with the hand that I eat with. If I want to condemn you as someone inferior to me, I smack you with the hand that I shit with. When Jesus said, "Turn the other cheek," that was a strategic move. You see, if you can tell that someone's about to slap you, you turn your head to the side. That way, they can only slap you with the hand that they eat with. They can't slap you without acknowledging you as an equal. Get it? Smart, right? Under Roman rule, the Jewish people were more oppressed than black people were in the American Civil Rights era. In the American Civil Rights era, you could tell a black person that they have to sit in the back of the bus or have to drink from a different water fountain. But you couldn't do to them what the Romans did to the Jews. You see, the Romans could say to the Jews, "You have to walk a mile." And then the Jewish person would have to do it. But Jesus, supposedly, came up with a clever trick. You see, if a Roman man tells you to walk a mile, what you do is walk far longer and farther than he instructed you to. That way, the other Romans around will see how far you've walked and think, yo, I know the Jews are subhuman, but the Roman motherfucker bossing him around is going way too far. That Roman motherfucker is crazy. Smart, right? A Roman could tell a Jew that you must take the coat off your back and give it to him. So, Jesus said, hey, if a Roman man tells you to give him your coat, take off all your clothes and hand them to you. Hand them to the Roman. Sorry. Then, all the Romans spectating this encounter will say, yo, I know Jews are subhuman, but why the fuck did that Roman demand that dude's entire outfit? That Roman motherfucker just made that Jewish motherfucker walk around naked in public. What the fuck is wrong with that Roman motherfucker? See? You make everyone who oppresses you look fucking crazy in a peaceful way. And this disincentivizes the oppression of your people. Anyways, that's all for now. Have a great night and enjoy your immortality. Check out the link tree in the description below if you want a little more VK in your life.